Hello everybody, this is Head Crudrat J. Daniel Sawyer. Against all probability, we hit our initial funding goals less than a week into the campaign, and this gives us the opportunity to try for some more very cool things in the Crudrat universe and, as you'll find out in a minute, the Parasol Protectorate universe. That's right, it's time for the stretch goals. You might already have read about 2 of these on the Kickstarter page, but stick with me, because we're unveiling 2 more, bigger, and better stretch goals, along with the answer to the question you've all been asking and we've all been wrestling with. Will there be a sequel for Crudrat? So, let's get started. As we film this, we're funded to the tune of a little under $8,300, so we don't have very far to go to reach the first milestone, 10,000. Where the existing rewards get some very cool upgrades. Hidden away at a secret location and guarded by a large homicidal robot that can't be bribed, even with tea, there lies a door. Behind that door, a treasure trove of little blue notebooks filled with Gail's own handwriting, documenting the breadth and depth, the history and future of her universes. One of those notebooks is all about Crudrat, and we have gotten clearance to bypass the robot and bring some of those pages to you via exclusive photo plates in the hardback and ebook. But don't worry, audiophiles, we haven't forgotten you. If we meet this stretch goal, you'll find your audiobooks expanded with blooper reels, interviews, and some bonus music tracks from composer Danny Shade for your listening pleasure. Things really start to get interesting, though, when we hit our second milestone, 15,000, where we'll be able to make 4 more full-cast audio productions of Gail Carriger stories. These range the spectrum from the very adult gay werewolf merman romance Marine Biology, to the subversive Roman historical fantasy My Sister's Song, to the light and delightful Fairy Debt, to the real jewel in the collection, a Parasol Protectorate story called The Curious Case of the Werewolf That Wasn't, the Mummy That Was, and the Cat in the Jar. This is the story where those of us who loved the Parasol Protectorate finally get to find out what kind of character Alexia's father, Alejandro Tarabotti, really was. And if we hit this one, here's what happens to your rewards. Anyone who opted for an audiobook download gets the audio of all 4. Anyone who opted for the CD gets CD versions of all 4. And those of you who pitched in $10 to help us out but couldn't afford the $25 for the whole audiobook, you'll get to pick any one of these 4 productions to have for your very own. Now we get to the big ones, and they're going to be really expensive to produce, so we're really going to have to stretch to get there. If we hit 25,000, we can commission a short story anthology set in the Crudrat universe. Gail will edit it along with Alistair Stewart, who, in addition to helping us out here, has been an integral part of the Escape Pod and Pseudopod crew for years. They'll invite genre pros to play in the Crudrat sandbox, and in around 18 months or less, everyone who opted for a hardback will get a hardback of the anthology too, and anyone who opted for an ebook or an audiobook will get an ebook of the anthology, and so will you folks at the $10 level. And if we can push just another 5,000 beyond that, to 30,000, we can produce the full cast audio version of the anthology. Top voice talent giving you a sampling of the Crudrat universe through the eyes of some of today's great science fiction writers, with more original music by Danny Shade, another 8 to 10 hours worth of full cast audio goodness. CDs to CD getters, MP3s to MP3 getters, and a choice of any 2 stories to those of you who've been good enough to kick in at the $10 level. So, that's the stretch goals. We hope you'll help us get there. But now to the big question. What about the sequel? We've had a lot of conversations about this sequel over the last couple of years. Gail really wants to do it, we really want to get her to do it, and going through this process has gotten us all really excited about it. But no matter how we look at it, we're up against a hard wall. Gail is obligated to finish the Finishing School series and the Parasol Protectorate Abroad series, which deals with Alexia and Connell's daughter, and these commitments have her tied up for the next few years. Her hope and ours, is that Crudrat finds enough of an audience that she can justify carving out time to write more Crudrat installments. And let's face it, the more people who hear about Crudrat, the better chance it has of finding that kind of an audience. Right now, as I record, we have 179 backers. If each of you bring one more friend to this party, we can get to the short stories, and if each of you bring 2.5 friends, we can get to the anthology. It's up to you. But no matter what happens, nothing changes the fact that you have made this extraordinary undertaking possible, and we're already hard at work on the behind-the-scenes documentaries and the pre-production so that very soon you'll get to hear Crudrat in all its exciting, immersive glory. I'll see you around again real soon. Thank you again for being fabulous.